Tier lists. Lists. The thing people make when they want to show their superiority over knowledge in a topic. For some reason. So here we have an anime tier list that has 500 plus tier lists. And also 671 images. It was last modified semi-recently. And as you can tell, there are quite a lot of animes here. Can I make it through all of them? I have no idea. And thank you, Kun Hineko, for making this tier list. Hopefully it's a good one. Hello. Fudge, welcome in. So, before I have any more controversy, you probably don't even know 1% of these. Yeah, I made my own haven't seen enough of the tier list. You know, for example, this is for ones I haven't seen enough of. Some of them I might not have seen or might not have seen enough of. For example, I haven't seen whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is. I haven't seen it though. I have seen some of 100 Girlfriends, but not enough to confidently rank it like an F tier or something. So, you know, stuff like that. Otherwise, you get your normal ones. I'll put the one I'm currently ranking in here, just for easier organization. You might notice there is an S plus tier as well. Given the sheer amount of anime, I'm going to need to be able to separate S plus and S. The real top of tier animes. Compared to the top tier animes, you know? Like, the great ones, and then the best thing ever. That sort of thing. You watched a grand total of 8 animes. Oh boy, you're in for a time. I don't know if that's a good one or a bad one, but let's start easy. 16-bit sensation. Sweet. This one, I like my cute ones. Alright. This is a, well, I wouldn't say it's really a cute one. There's fraud and financial crises and kidnapping in this one. But other than that, it's pretty cute. And time travel-y. You see our cute little Konoha there. She travels back in time to make visual novels. And so she has to deal with, well, making them and then selling them and then going back to the future. And then dealing with the consequences. The futuristic kidnapping arc, I've heard some people say, is the worst time travel arc in all of anime. I do not agree with this statement. B tier. Oh boy, off to a great start. 2.5D seduction. Some of the plots of these animes are ridiculous. Yeah. They certainly are. Just wait until we get to some of the... Oh, wait until Akadama Drive. Man. Oh, boy. So 2.5D seduction. This one's gonna be more normal anime, right? You see 4 girls here. They're gonna be in love with the guy. And also they get almost naked sometimes. They censored it for the anime. So this one was coming out, it was airing while I was in Japan. And I think I should note that because it's one of the very few animes I have seen actually air live. And there were a few other ones. I think there was some random Demon Lord one that I saw. I saw an episode of Bleach 1000 Year Blood War air live, but those I did not care for as much as 2.5D seduction. And honestly, I don't know what it is about this one, but I just like it. I really don't know. A tier. It's A tier there. And now for a slight batch of the, oh no, it's silent voice. Oh no. So, when I was making my thumbnail for my F tier, because I don't like clickbait. For my F tier, I have it as the Love is War movie, which may be somewhere down here, I don't know. But A Silent Voice was going to be my original pick until I was like, maybe I don't hate it enough for F tier. C tier. Oh boy, oh boy. Hey, Akutama Drive! Whoa! I told you to wait for this one? Yeah! Okay, so all these people here are criminals, right? Except for this girl. She was framed. So all these guys have cool name. I remember she's Swindler. This guy over here is Cutthroat. There's a cat in the corner. All of these people are gathered here together in order to commit a really big crime. I can't remember what the crime was. I think they were escorting kids out of a city. These two really smart kids, which are also the cat. The cat's a robot. Either way. Spoiler alert real quick. Everyone dies. Except the children. The children are alive. But yes, everyone dies. They're all dead. By the end of it, they're all dead. Like Cutthroat here, I remember him specifically because he has a crush on Swindler. Also, he's a yandere. He tries to kill everybody. And Swindler. Oh boy, what an anime that was. I can't properly remember. Hold on, let me check. Was this made by the Danganronpa guy? Because there is a small chance that it is. That just feels like something. No, it was made by the Danganronpa guy. Okay. That's it, yeah. So yeah, if that explains anything, then good for you. It gets another A tier. Oh boy, oh boy. Love that one. Ah, Harin. It's a cute romance, and the girl is quiet. B tier. Well, that one was quick and easy. But a lot of those ones are just gonna be, pretty quick and easy. Which one is that? That feels almost recognizable, but since I can't figure it out, then, yeah, whatever. Ooh, Dr. Amaku! Okay. This one? I mean, it almost doesn't feel like Amaku, or like anime. It's not Amaku, that's her name. It almost doesn't feel like anime. It feels more like those reality style, doctor shows. I think Grey's Anatomy is one of those popular ones, but I don't watch them. I just kind of know how they feel. So it really has that sort of feeling to it. They go and solve medical mysteries and oftentimes crimes that are straight up supernatural. They're not realistic in any sense. But that doesn't mean it's a bad anime, per se. It just means it only gets a B tier. Can't wait till you get to an anime you've watched. Oh boy, we'll get there soon. There's enough. There's enough. Oh no, Angel Beats. Oh boy, I don't even know what to say for this one. I'm sure it made me cry. I really like the author's works. This one gets our first S tier. This deserves it. This deserves an S tier. Oh my goodness. If you haven't seen it already, that's one of those I'm fine with you, stopping watching my stream and going watching it. So, yeah. Oh no, an Anohana. So, Angel Beats, right? You know how I just said it was emotional and good? What if it was that, but again? Oh, man. These are some of those where I'll think about them and I'll start getting emotional, but they aren't like the super emotional ones. Those are reserved. But goodness, they can make you cry. Oh my goodness. Like, this one's about a dead girl. You will cry. Yeah, no doubt about it. Oh my goodness. It's a good one, though. It's really good. Okay, Assassination Classroom. These one, they're doing the seasons together, so I'll just rank them together. I cry a lot during shows like Fun Waterworks. Yeah! If you ever want to cry, here's your selection. Fill a cup with your tears. Anyway, Assassination Classroom. I'm sure I watched this a long time ago, but quite frankly, I can't remember it except for it being halfway decent, so it gets B. Yay, aren't we just loving this tier list right now? Can't wait to put all of these there. This one I kind of want to watch, but I haven't. So, I mean, we haven't really gotten into any. You'll get your towels and popcorn ready. Yeah! You'll need both of those. You be ready to switch off at any moment. It's great. Monogatari. Or Bake Monogatari, I should say, because this one is the first season. I should specify that, because some of them need to be differentiated. And this one is probably one of the worst ones, but in saying that, I will also get an A tier. Alright, just because of how utterly amazing some of those Monogatari series are. Like, if there's Monogatari Season 2, I believe it is in there, it gets S+. If that appears, it will be here. So, just to say the sheer depth of the Monogatari series, I would give a plot summary, but quite frankly, I don't really know, besides the guy's a vampire and everything is supernatural and he's got to solve the problem in some way or another. And even though most of the anime is just two people talking to each other, it's quite insane and there's a ton of depth to it. I would say here's our first controversial take, but we had silent voice. So, battle game in 5 seconds. This is one of those that nobody cares about and nobody really likes. Except for me. I'm one of the few people. I'm one of the few people who sees this and I'm like, yeah, I like this. I even went on to read some of the manga. So basically, quick plot summary. Everybody gets kidnapped and given, special powers. And then they're tasked to fight each other in one way or another in order to, not die. That's basically it, This guy, whose name is Akira Shiryanagi, which I remember because it sounds cool. His power is that his power is whatever the opponent thinks it is. Which is absolutely incredible of a power. Like, how have we not seen that done in, anything else? He has to manipulate his opponent so that he gets the power he wants. So obviously he can't choose something like an insta-win power because, well, his opponent won't believe that. He would have just already won. And he can't choose something like dumb. Like there's a girl who can turn buttons into marbles. Like that's a dumb one. He can't just choose that because he's not going to win the fight. So he's got to strategize and do cool stuff. Kidnapping would be, yeah. That is a common trend in anime for some reason. It shouldn't be, but it is. Sometimes it's even in romance ones. I'm sure Komi's on the list somewhere. Well, anyway, this one, I would give it an A, but honestly, besides just me liking it, it gets a B. It's a B tier. Solid B tier. Maybe, hold on. Let me make a Make a B plus tier. Hold on. A row above. We'll make a B plus. There you go. It can go in B plus tier. That'll work. Alright, what's next? Handyman Seto in another world. Okay, here's the premise, alright? This guy's a handyman. He gets isekai'd. Premise done! You understand the entire anime. That's everything. That's all of the anime. C tier. Just wait till you get to Tokyo Ghoul. So I hate to tell you, but I haven't seen Tokyo Ghoul. So, haha. Yay! Berserk of Gluttony. This guy has gluttony powers. He needs to eat people. I don't know if it's literal or just, you know, metaphorical eat people, but he does kill them. Yeah, that's really about it. See there. Collective gas. Oh, I know, right? I told you this list would be controversial. Dungeon of Black Company. Oh yeah, that one was funny, because I remember. There's very few things I remember about these types of animes. But this one I remember because there was one random gag where this girl right here attacked this guy into, you know, she punched him so hard over a gag, right? And he went into a wall. And usually in these types of shows, you know, he just dusts himself off and we keep on going because, you know, it's just a gag. No, he got sent to the hospital for the entire episode. They made a whole plot point out of it. That this guy was just sent to the hospital. He got hospitalized and they had to pay bills. Oh, B tier. Oh, hey, Blue Exorcist. This one's very popular. So it'd be controversial if I say I hadn't seen it. Bye-bye, Blue Exorcist. You get to go there. Alright. Here is Blue Lock. His hospitalized abyss had to be paid. Exactly. It was great. Great episode. Love that. Okay. Blue Lock. I quite like Blue Lock. I'll give both of these A's. You know, Yoichi Isagi is quite the inspiration to people. And I know people are, you know, calling it like PNG Lock or whatever. But goodness, I don't care. Alright. You could talk about how much slideshowy the second season is, but if the story's good, the story is good. And that it gets an A tier. Is this the show that they make Roblox games off everything? But yes, I'm sure it is. Oh boy, we got Blue Box now. Blue Box. I don't think this one will be a controversial take. Me putting it in A tier. It's a high school romance, but it's a nice high school romance. And also, he chooses the wrong girl. This is why I'm annoyed at this one. Fine, it gets B+. He chooses the wrong girl. Okay, you have this one. The one on the left, that he likes. And the one on the right, which is Hina. Hina is better in every single way. But I understand that this guy likes this girl. I understand it. But when this girl is throwing herself at you, like, give it a shot, okay? You know how good this girl is. I know you like the other one, but she's literally... She confessed to you... Okay. I'm done. I'll get on to... Bocchi the Rock. Okay. Let me hydrate myself for this one. Wet my throat. This anime, I was thinking about this tier list, right? And I was like, goodness, I hope Bocchi the Rock is on this tier list. And I checked, and of course it is. Because, well, it's right here. And then I was like, okay. How do I differentiate Bocchi the Rock from every other anime on here? So I made the S+ tier for Bocchi the Rock. This is by far my favorite anime. Ever. I say by far. There's one contender. Who's probably somewhere on this list, but Bocchi the Rock is amazing. You know, it's one of those, like, usually when you're, you know, watching a show, when it's, you know, in its airing season, you know, you go home after a long day's work, and then you know, watch the show, right? You don't really think about watching it, you know, too much, unless you're like, I want to go home and watch a show. Bocchi the Rock is not that case. Because this is what I'd actively watch as soon as I possibly could. I wouldn't wait. I would just watch it. I remember watching this in a hotel room bathtub, okay? This is how much I like this anime. It's amazing. Bocchi's cute. Rio's cuter. Carry on. Yeah. Watch romance anime as I sit back. Yeah. Usually in 90% of romance animes, you can tell which one the guy's gonna pick. Just right off the start, right? And you can hope. You can hope he won't, but you know he will. On the inside, man, that's just, it just hurts. It hurts. Because that's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that, yeah, that one girl is better, but... Anyway. Oh, Fury! That girl's name is Maple. She runs a guild called Maple Tree. They like to make their tree puns. It's cute. B tier. Easy one. Okay, here's a few My Hero Academias. I don't know where they all are. Look, I could give a whole rant about it. But I just like the superhero stuff and the story. I'm not one to really care about the whole meaning behind heroism and whatever. So I'll just smack it an A tier for simplicity's sake. Just get in there, my hero. He's a nice one. Oh, there's a good amount in a row that I just haven't seen. I mean, that's... Oh, no. Bubble. Oh, goodness. Look. I had high hopes for this one. It's by that one guy who made Madoka. I think he wrote it. And I love Madoka. But... Goodness. Was that hard to watch? This one is... Oh, no. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't know where it was going, and things just didn't make sense, alright? No. You haven't watched My Hero Academia, really? It's one of the, you know, really popular animes. You know, the most popular stuff. I mean, it's everywhere. Go ahead and watch it. You might as well. Its final season has been airing, which has been quite good, I will say. Quite good indeed. You know, given all the flashbacks to all these different characters. It's quite good. Anyway, here's Buddy Daddies. Those two guys are assassins. They killed this girl's dad. So they're adoptive parents. Yeah. That's a show, alright. I mean, it's funny. It's kind of cute sometimes. They do assassin stuff. The girl is really dumb. But, yeah, they figure it out. Anyway, this one gets a B tier. I think we found a bell curve here. Just a slight bell curve. Well, maybe not with A. I guess B plus kind of gets its own separate tier, kind of like the S and S plus stuff. But anyway, carrying on. Oh, here's a controversial one. Bungo? Nah. Haven't seen it. Yeah, so we get a lot of... There's a lot of those. They made a lot of Bungo. Oh my goodness, here's another controversial one. Call of the Night. Okay, guy, middle school. Doesn't look like it, but he is. Anyway, he goes out at night, doesn't get sleep, and he goes and talks to this vampire girl. And also, she sucks his blood and stuff. I don't know. It just... it got places, but it never got anywhere good, you know? You know, and it just... I don't know how to properly explain it. It just... like, sure, it happened and all, but it just didn't feel bearable to watch, you know? And so, therefore, I just... it's an F tier. I don't really know. I've kind of, like, purged it from my memory. And, of course, I haven't seen the second season. Like, I remember just kind of giving up there at the end. It's like, okay, fine. I'll just, go through it. And I just zoned out during the finale. I really did. It really didn't mean much of anything. I remember one episode where the guy, for some reason, is trying to figure out who the stalker is at the maid cafe. Turns out it was the maid herself. How did he figure it out? I don't know, but it was really dumb. And I've been playing Raincoat. And compared to that weird thing was even more dumb. Did it mean anything? Absolutely not. I didn't know why that episode existed. But that's what happened, so... yeah. Are you the only person that prefers dubs over subs? Absolutely not. I prefer dubs. I like being able to use my different senses. Charlotte. I know this one's popular. So is Castle in the Sky. I don't know what that one is. So is Spirited Away. That one's actually controversial. Yeah, I haven't seen Spirited Away. Sue me. Next one, Clannad. That one's also popular. I haven't seen it. I don't know what this one is. The Merry Girl Who Hates Me. I think that one's it, but anyway. Here's another one I have seen. Classroom of the Elite. I'll just kite these all the way up here. It's gonna be really hard to kite them later. Classroom of the Elite. You wanna watch Spirited Away? I'll give it a go. It's a Studio Ghibli movie, so I don't believe it can be bad. Like, those are all quite good. I'm sure we'll get to some later on that I have seen, but they are all considerably good. So, Classroom is Elite, right? It's a school, but everybody is, like, super smart and whatever. So, compare that to, some of these other ones. Because they actually, have to write the smart people, so I'd hope they are smart, to which they actually are. Like, whoa, they are smart? In my Classroom of the Elite? No way. Like, yeah, they are considerably smart. I own a light novel of it. I just haven't read it yet because I don't read. But they are smart, and they have to, solve problems to beat other students. Either in a fist fight or just actually, in a mental game. So, it's a good one. Clevitus. How do I describe Clevitus? So this girl right there is a hero. And she's gone off to defeat this guy. Long story short, and by that I mean this happens in the first 4 minutes, this guy brutally kills her and her entire party. And then goes and kills a kingdom. Just like the whole thing. But then he gets persuaded to bring back the baby. And then he's like, oh goodness, I don't know how to take care of babies. So he revives her And she's like, we're gonna need to breastfeed this baby. And he's like, okay, do it. And she's like, I'm an adventurer. I can't do that. And so they go on an adventure to find someone who can breastfeed. That's the plot of the first few episodes. You know, it escalates off that once they, you know, find the person. It's weird, but it's halfway decent. B plus. Daily Life of the Immortal King? They put that one here? Like, I'm not complaining, but okay, sure. This one is actually Chinese, which is why it confused me, because it's technically not anime, but it's close enough. Yeah, this one, guy is stupidly overpowered. Nobody really knows why. That's about it. Funny gag. Ha ha ha. It gets B tier. Simple as that. There really isn't much to say about it. I don't really know. That dog right there is actually a frog. Like a demon lord frog. And, you know, this guy just defeated, you know, the mortal king. Defeated the frog in a single hit because of ramen or something. I don't really know. Dan to Dan. So, if you remember what I said about Silent Voice. I said that, hey, I wanted to put this in my thumbnail on F tier. But I was like, it's not bad enough to be F tier because it has some redeeming qualities. So it gets C tier instead. As such, the second season gets in here. Okay. Dan to Dan. I know people really like that one. I don't really get why. It is very much a fever dream. I don't really understand much about it. And I don't think really anybody does, quite frankly. You know, I remember in the first few episodes, right? So, not much of a spoiler here. But there is, you know, a monster from outer space who abides physically by the rules of sumo. So if his hands touch the ground, he loses his arm. How does that make any sense? Who knows? Also, he's selective about it. So sometimes he'll have his hands touch the ground and his arm won't go off. So, like, what? You know, I understand if you establish powers and whatever of a specific villain, but there's no potential reason. Oh yeah, the monster's from the United States, by the way. Which has nothing to do with sumo. So why does he abide by the rules of sumo? Who knows? But if you have the power, you know, if that's your gimmick, that you abide by the rules of sumo, you'd think you would agree with that and, you know, it'd be a done deal. But no, he just doesn't. And when that kind of trend continues on a little bit, right? It's nothing really makes sense and things just kind of happen because they do. So, I don't get it. That's really most of the show. Controversial thing. This is Danganronpa 2.5. I've only seen the first anime. Yeah. This one. This one's Danger in My Heart. I don't know which one this one is specifically, but we'll just do it as a whole. It's probably fine. The Danger's in My Heart. So, this one is quite interesting. This guy right here. He's a loner, you know, and like the type you'd imagine from all those, you know, shows and documentaries. He is adamant about killing this girl. You know, an actual model and idol and all cute and whatnot. Long story short, they're romantic partners now. I mean, it's not like it's a secret. I mean, look at them. But yes, it's quite good. Even despite its oddness and potential maturity. Though it does take a few episodes to pick up. But it is definitely... where did I go? It's definitely an easy S tier. Just because it's good, you know? The parts that are good are great. You know, kind of like what I described with Blue Box, but if Blue Box actually went correctly. You know? All the ridiculous plots seem to be well liked. They kind of do. I think people are just tired of generic isekais. Controversial. Blah. Darwin's Game. Something mobile app death game. It kind of goes with battle game in 5 seconds, except they don't get kidnapped. Other than that, it's basically the same thing. I don't think the guy has like a super cool, awesome special power, but he probably does. But I don't remember it. It's kind of forgettable. She get a C tier. Dragon Ball. I think I've seen enough Dragon Ball to put it in B+. You know Dragon Ball. We all know it. It goes there. Dead Mount Death Play. You know, I'm starting to think I've seen more anime than I'd like to. Even though it's like 50-50. You haven't watched Dragon Ball? But why? I mean, we should all know about Dragon Ball. I mean, it's Goku. Everyone knows Goku. I'm sure even world leaders do. Everyone knows it. Anyway, here's Dead Mount Death Play. I would give its premise, but it's kind of secretive. And stuff. Anyway, there's this death god and he dies. But he also gets revived as this boy in modern day Japan. And something weird stuff happens. It just kind of does. It's not like, you know, super good, you know, character development or anything. You know, I can't just say it's all cool and whatnot. I mean, it's story. It's basically average. But it's got its decent moments. It's not as bad as some of the C-tier ones. So, yeah. Is there weird black hair? Go watch it. That's all I can really say about any of these. Demon Wonderland, blah blah. Death Note! Hey! Everyone knows Death Note. Well, hopefully. This is like classic deduction-y sort of thing, right? And they are quite smart about it. I wouldn't have even thought about some of those deductions until, you know, they say it, and then I think it all through my head, and it makes sense with no contradictions. Which is why I like it. I like those sorts of things. You know, where it's all smart and whatnot. And so therefore, this one gets an easy. We'll go S tier for that one. Okay. Haven't watched Death Note. That one is more understandable. But yeah, I really do quite like the dynamic between these two. And I just really like how it's smart about it. You might see that as a common trend to be seen some of these. All these guys are smart. You know, and they they do make it so that they both win and they both lose. I don't like it when, you know, it's just, haha, bad guy always loses, good guy always wins. Haha, that's how it always goes. Not there. They'll swap it around. It's cool that way. Oh boy, a good section of ones that I can just smack directly into the haven't watched, because goodness, I haven't watched this girl with a club. What in the world is that? Girl with club anime. Legending Angel something? I can't remember. It's a weird one. I think if I had watched it, it'd go in F tier anyway. Darling in the Franxx. I watched this one a long time ago. Where's Demon Slayer? We're getting there. We're getting there. I watched this one a long time ago. Darling in the Franxx. And I don't know what it was about it, but at the time I quite enjoyed it. It's probably the, you know, girl, boy, everybody dying. Mechanic. Dynamic. I don't really know. I know some people are like, well, we don't like the, you know, the whole world building drop stuff. Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You get an 8. Yeah, you'll get an S. I'm contrary. You get an S. Yeah, I quite frankly don't even remember all the other side characters. I remember the boy and the girl. That's all. That's all I remember. So I had said that I had seen the first Danganronpa. So we go rank the first Danganronpa. For some reason, I always know the controversy better than the show itself. People say, hey, this thing is too quick. I've played both the game and watched the anime, so it's fine. I don't see the difference. If anything, the game's a little too slow, but, you know, anyway. Yes, I like A tier. Yeah. I mean, sure, it's not as deductively sound as some of these other things, but, you know, it's Danganronpa. It bears its things. And it's gonna surprise you quite a good amount. You know? So that's quite good. You might have to shower. I mean, go ahead. Don't let me stop you from showering. Delicious in Dungeon. I mean, I thought it was fine. It's not the best thing ever. It's not good. It's not bad. You know, it's one of those where it has to, like, feel good to me because it doesn't have any, like, too, you know, complex story beat writing stuffs. So I just have to go off feel, but I didn't feel it. I didn't feel its goodness. So it gets a B, I guess. It's better than Dan to Dan, which would have to do the same thing, but Dan to Dan has contradictions, so. Delicious in Dungeon. Yay! Or Dungeon Meshy, as I hear people call it. Who are weird. This one, I actually need to watch. I forgot to watch it, and I need to watch it. This one is Fate. Keep that in mind for just a little later. You're erased. Okay. Erased. That's one of the other controversial ones. I don't even remember the controversy. I just know I liked it, but I can't remember much about it. So, you get B+. Yay! I don't remember you! Fairy Tail, which I should have watched. I know I've seen some of it. I just can't remember. I'm sorry. Here's Fate. Can you tell how big it is? It gets 2.5 rows to itself. I will rank the ones I have seen. Here's Fate Apocrypha. I watched other Fate shows before this one and I was like, oh boy, surely this one's good. F tier. This thing is dumb and stupid. Characters, nice. That is all that's good. Its story is super dumb. You know, and coming off the, hype back of some of these amazing other ones. What were they doing here? This is, in order to give it a great comparison, right? It's like, you know Fortnite, right? People liked it because they were like, yeah, it's a good game. I like the building mechanics, and there was all the story stuff, and people liked the story. It's like they said that, and we're like, oh boy, guys, okay. We gotta make this new Fortnite thing. So we're gonna have only battles. And we're just gonna have the most craziest battles we can think of. And that's when they added all the collab skins and stuff. And just kind of forgot about all the random story stuff. So it's like, whoa, crazy battles. Okay, but they don't mean anything. And they're not even good battles. I haven't seen these fates. Which fate is this one? I don't know. Let's see. No, I don't think this is one I've seen. Here's original Fate Stay Night, which I have not seen. They put prologue in this one? That's funny. Anyway. Here is Fate Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works. This one is by UFO Table. Or UFO-table. Or whatever weird thing you want to call it as. You're gonna shower? Okay. Have fun. I had seen this one before Fate Apocrypha. And, it's great. S tier. Easy peasy S tier. It really does have a good feeling like Demon Slayer. It really does. And unlike Apocrypha, this one all makes sense. You kind of care about the people. And stuff happens and you're sad about it. And it's not just the battles. Yeah. Here is the movie, which goes on another route. This is like Heaven's Feel or whatever. And, I don't need to explain it anymore. It's an S tier. Everybody likes it. It's great. I like it. You like it. We like it. It's just more of this stuff. More of what we like. Nothing bad about it. If it's just... if you say, hey, I want Demon Slayer, you get more Demon Slayer, right? And apparently people gobble it up. That's like one of the highest grossing... Yeah, it is the highest grossing anime movie. Fate Zero, which is the prequel. Or, I guess it came out before. Unlimited Blade Works, so guess where I'm gonna put it? Easy S tier. I like the fights, and I like the characters, and I like how it all goes together. And I like Ishkandar. Writer, he's great. I like him. I liked the man, and he did a great good fight. And if you know what fight I'm talking about, then it's that one. This is a great one. It's a great fight. And in that one, that's a great example as to why Apocrypha is bad. Because he used his super cool, awesome power, right? Which we knew in advance. And it was against, another guy who we didn't know his power. To which, that was made very clear. And that was because his power is incredibly overpowered and can only be used in very specific circumstances because of that. Here, they just do whatever. So, Yeah. Anyway, thus ends our fate. Food Wars, have not seen. Sue me. I was wondering when you get here. This is Frieren, or as people say, Frieren, but it obviously is Frieren. So, for this one anime, I've had to make an entire differentiation into how I determine, or how do I answer questions about anime. Because Frieren is the best anime. Bocchi's my favorite. Frieren is best. I can't deny that Frieren is better than Bocchi, but I like Bocchi more. This is an important distinction, because goodness, this thing is great. I absolutely adore Frieren. I have cosplayed as Stark. He's in the back. Give him a little head pat. Yes, I've cosplayed as him because it's great. There's... everything just means a lot. And it all comes together in a beautiful song. It's great. I don't know how to describe it well. But I figured if I did, I'd make my own Frieren, you know? But it's a beautiful web of amazingness. And everyone's cute. And everything fits so well together, you know? It's not like Fate Apocrypha, where they just have stuff to have stuff. They think about it here, and it's great. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, controversial take again. This one's full dive RPG. B+. This one is most people's least favorite genre, which we have not gotten into because there's not a lot. This is a parody. Okay, important distinction. This is a parody. So yes, the story isn't half good. That's the point. Yes, it's full of tropes. That's the point. I mean, look at this girl in the back. She's barely wearing anything. That's the point. It's great. It's funny. All around being great parody. You know. It's good. It's a good one. Gachi Yakuza. Or as I like to call it, trash anime. It gets C tier. Guy's dumb. That, I guess, is a plot point. But, you know, it's just dumb. So, that's most people in this, right? And it's a commonality that I like the smarter ones, right? So, allow me, you know, spoiler warning, but allow me to describe a fight scene that happened in the latest episode, and I am a dub watcher, so it's the latest dub episode. So, this girl, right here, all the weird happy one, gets in a fight with this other girl, right? You know, this girl uses scissors, the other girl has electrostatic hair, and it's all weirdly, you know, fighty stuffs, right? And so... it's just so dumb. You know, this girl, I forget her name. Doesn't matter. Red-haired girl. Okay. Red-haired girl and electro girl. So red-haired girl with the scissors. You know, having a hard time attacking electro girl with the scissors. So, she just stows away her super-powered scissors and says, I'm better with my fists anyway. And then they just start having a fist fight. The other girl doesn't even use her electrostatic hair, which would easily kill red hair girl. They just have a fist fight. Wait, why? You know, it's like, you know, I was joking there, like, okay. Throws away sword. I'm better with my fists. I could use this gun, but I'm better with my fists. So, fight goes on for a while, right? Red hair girl, she's almost down for the count, right? Electrostatic girls, she's having a good time fist fighting, I guess, and they have like a monologue. They're a bit of a ways from each other because that's how they always are. Then the dumbest thing happens. Red hair girl pulls out a gun and shoots the other girl. Why didn't we start with this? Why didn't she just pull the gun? Let me see if I can find an image. Like, why didn't she just pull the gun from the start? Why doesn't anybody else have a gun? Why? Why is it just that one thing? Like, seriously. It's just that one time. When the... Here we go. I have it. Why? They all know about the guns. Why? They clearly work super well. They, like, literally, basically killed the other girl. Why didn't we just... Why didn't we just start with this? Why does nobody else have them? Why was nobody else trying to find it? Because clearly they beat superpower weapons. So why? Why are we not just shooting people with guns if they work that much better? Okay, I'm done ranting. We'll get on to our next one. I'll go a little quicker here. Well, I don't think I really need to take a lot of time with Asterisk War. It's generic, but a little better than generic. You get beats here. Like, that's about it. Okay, glad we've figured that out. Yay. Some of these I feel like I should watch. I just, haven't. And it's kind of weird because there's, whole stretches of ones that I've watched. And whole stretches of ones that I haven't. They're kind of grouped together. Anyway, here's Girls Band Cry. So, I have Bocchi the Rock and S+, right? And I like cute girls. Doing cute things. And albeit, this one isn't it. It's not cute girl doing cute things. S tier. Just because it's not cute girl doing cute things doesn't mean it's not a good one. Sure, they probably did just make this off the success of Bocchi, but who cares? I like good ones. I'll take this one. This one's a good one. It's girls with depression and other problems doing band stuff. And albeit it's kind of ended weirdly, but I don't mind. It was good while it lasted. I'll take it. If we have My Go or A of Musica in here, which I don't think we will, it doesn't seem like the type of list that would have those, given how not popular it is in this region of the world where this was made. But those ones would go in S tier along with it. It's like the whole genre, It's either cute girl band one or girls who are mentally affected. Like A of Musica. I don't even know what I'd call Mortis in A of Musica. I have no clue. It's something, alright. Girls Last Tour. This one's cute. Except when it's not. But it's pretty cute normally. Yeah. So these two girls, they're all cute and friends. And everyone's dead. It's post-apocalypse, so yay! A tier. Next one. Oh, yes! Go Loser Ranger. This one was, funnily enough, made by the same guy who did Quintessential Quintuplets. So you probably wouldn't guess, that it's about death, murder, and deception. It's, Power Rangers, but the monsters get really bored of, dying every episode, so, they go and fight back. And then it kind of devolves into, like, normal battle shonen type thing, which seems to be a lot of these, but anyway. It gets B+. It would get A if it kind of kept on that whole thing. It did great toward the first season, but then it just, like I said, it devolved into, battle shonen type thing. Goblin Slayer! They slay goblins. Do I need I say more? But it's just about the same thing every time, but like I like it. I'll eat it up. Sure. I'll take Goblin Slayer. He slays goblins. Good for me. This one, I know I've seen it. I don't know what it's called. I've totally forgotten. Cause it's random generic E1. It's probably something death game. God's Games We Play. That's probably it. I think that's that one. But yeah, there's mystery. They don't solve it. They just kind of keep going. It's your generic non-isekai. If you know it, you know it. So, yay. Good Night World. Yes, I have seen that one. It's like, this one's like a fever dream. There's it's a video game, but it invades the real world, and it's a whole almost apocalypse world-ending scenario type thing that they have to deal with. I don't really get it. It wasn't that good anyway. There wasn't, I don't think there was a lot of stuff that was explained. Quintessential Quintuplets! Okay, guy and 5 girls. I mean, yeah. Same guy who made Loser Ranger. Cute romance thing. One of the most popular ones, surprisingly. And we'll get the solid A tier. It was cute. Stuff actually happened, which is surprising. Because in so many of these, they just stall and stall and stall and stall. Like, come on, guys. Someone confess your love. Which they did, and the series actually ended. Which was surprising. I won't spoil that or anything. But, he did choose one. And I was appreciative. Again, this big stretch of ones I just haven't seen. Look at all these. Happy Sugar Life. I have not seen that one. Probably for good reason. But I have it in the back of my mind every now and again. Goodness, that's such a big stretch. And here I was worried that I would never get through this. No, apparently I will. Apparently I will. Oh, hey, this is, that's Higurashi, right? Probably. I haven't seen it. But I know it. I know it. This one, I think this one's popular. Which one is that one? No, that one's generic isekai. Yeah. Or a generic isekai. Horimiya! Okay. Okay. This is one of those romancy ones where it's not trying to, keep you in there hoping, hey, I really hope the guy picks the right girl. It's literally in the title. Hori and Mia are gonna get together. Mia, Hori, there we go. They're getting together. It's no secret. This does not stop it from being a great anime. It is extraordinarily funny. And it's cute. They get along super well together. And so does the rest of the cast. And I like Yuki Yoshikawa. So that's that one. Honey Lemon Soda. I don't think I watched all of that one. No, I don't think I did. I know there's one I was confusing it for, where it's a romance, but the guy's stalker. Yeah, he's a stalker and he's stalking the girl. Anyway, Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer! I have watched this one. Controversial take. This one's not going in F tier. Whoa! I know people hate this one. I didn't think it was half bad. Okay, so this is a guy, right? He's a guy. This is a girl. This girl wants to destroy the world, but she wants to do it on her own terms. So they have to, defeat monsters and stuff in order to stop the Biscuit Hammer from destroying the Earth or something. I don't know. I kind of liked it. It's kind of, I would say cute, but not really. Like, it wasn't good, but it certainly wasn't bad, which is why I'm very confused why most people would put it in F tier. I say, looking at my F tier, which is primarily filled with ones that people would put in, like, B or A tier. Besides the point. Which one is this? Don't tell me this is a Grave of the Fireflies. This is Grave of the Fireflies. Okay. Oops, I dropped it. Yeah, this one is Grave of the Fireflies. If you know, you know. If you don't, go watch it. That's all I can say. This is a crime. There you go. It's a crime that I haven't watched. Not that Howl's Moving Castle is a crime. It's just, I haven't watched it, therefore that's a crime. There you go. I'm a criminal. Kyoka, I have not seen. Luckily for me, I haven't seen the one with the girls in the swimsuits. It's probably just Kyoka again. Yeah, those two girls are the same. And the Invaded. Is this the Beatles? I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Is that Inazuma 11? I think so. I haven't seen... Oh, I've seen this one. Okay. This one is When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. It's generic. Kind of. Kind of reminds me of Classroom of the Elites, but not as good. B tier. It's still kind of cute. They just, you know, have battles and stuff because they got superpowers now, but only some of them. I don't really know. They're all high schoolers too. Interspecies reviewers, I think, is what that one's called. I don't know. I think, personally, that it is a very good thing that I have not seen that one. I do not plan to. So, yep, you're welcome. Alright, back to putting stuff here. Oh, never mind! I've seen this one. I went to another world and became unrivaled in the real world. I don't know, something. I see another world and a real world there. It's generic isekai kind of thing. I don't know, guy finds hidden door to Narnia in his grandpa's closet and then gets super strong there and he gets liked by girls. I don't know. One of them's a princess, one of them's the student council president or something. I don't really know. Isekai Quartet. Okay, so this one is a cute little 12-minute thing. I've not seen the movie. That's sad. Cute little 12-minute thing. Where, you know, they just took 4 isekai animes. And then just said, hey, put them all together. We'll make a little series off that. And apparently that good enough to get 3 seasons in a movie. You know, there's Overlord, Konosuba, Sagatani the Evil, and ReZero. All of them are in it, and it's pretty cute. It's just fully, entirely a gag thing. They all get isekai'd there, and they're all at a school. It's just a gag manga, and it's cute. I'll give it B+. B+ rating. Yay. I should still see the movie. Okay. No longer allowed in Otherworld. Thank you for that small text at the bottom, because I forgot the title. Okay, so this guy. This guy here is a author, wants to die with his lover, who's back there. So he, dies with his lover, gets sent to another world, and then he's like, oh goodness, I'm not dead. So the first thing he tries to do is die. Which luckily he doesn't. But he is an author, and he's got this super cool ability, which is not as cool as the other guy from Battle Game in 5 seconds. But he can, if he writes somebody, into his book of books there as an author, they'll become super strong and stuff. And because of that, he can, buff people and win fights. But, he's a guy who wants to die. He doesn't really do that unless he wants to. That's the whole dynamic there, right? You have to be compelling enough to convince this man in some way or form to write about you so that you can win the battle that you're currently dying in. So, this man quite frankly doesn't care if you win or lose and if he dies or lives. So long as he gets to his lover, So at the beginning, this one was kind of meh, because they didn't really do anything about that. But as it went along, it did get better, so I'll put this one in B tier. I'll gladly take it. Something guild receptionist clock out on time. It's long. It's a long title. I'm the guild receptionist, but I'll solo any boss just to clock out on time, I think. I don't know. It's cute. Those two should just get married already. B+. Yay, ones that I haven't seen, so I don't have to talk about it. Jahi! I've seen this one. The great Jahi will not be defeated. That's her. She's there. So, the whole demon realm got destroyed by the hero. So they all got sent to the human realm. And now they just kind of have to, do stuff and survive. Mrs. Jahi there was second in command of the demon realm. She looks a little tiny, and that's because she is. Because in order to go to her true form, she needs the magic power of mana stones, which, well, they were shattered. Which is why their demon realm collapsed. So she'll need to, find them. But other than that, it's a cute little comedy one. That it does actually get a solid ending, which is, not something a lot of these do. It's like, it's an actual ending that the show gets. Whoa. But yeah, it's cute. It's a gag thing. B+. Okay, now we can go back to ones that I haven't seen. Well, is it really a surprise that I've seen Jujutsu Kaisen? Like, can I do that gag with Jujutsu Kaisen? Like, I mean, it's not a surprise. I put this one in my thumbnail as S tier. So, like, what else am I supposed to do, right? Someone gets S tier. Like, compare and contrast. Dan to Dan goes in C tier. Jujutsu Kaisen goes in S tier. That's my priorities, alright? Compare and contrast them. You'll understand. I believe in you. You can do it. JoJo. I haven't. Surprisingly enough, I have not seen the JoJos. I've watched a little bit of the first part, but it's not enough to make any sort of decision. So, yeah, that's, you know, quite interesting. Oh, hey, this one. Yeah, I remember that one because people hated it. Okay. I didn't see it, though. Yeah, this one. Okay. So, this one here was made by the same guy who made Angel Beats. I think that's about all you need to know. You know, at first I thought, oh, this one's just some nice, cute, funny show. Cue the waterworks. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. It really is. That's why I love that author. That author is currently doing this mobile game called Heaven Burns Red. Its story is quite good, and quite honestly, I need to play more of it. The gameplay is honestly kind of bad. But the story is why we're all here, and I'll gladly take it for that. Yay. Here's another thing that I can yay about. I've not seen Rent-A-Girlfriend. Woo! Yeah! I haven't! Lovely me. This is Fragrant Flower Boom... Boom Boom. Fragrant flower blooms with dignity. Oh, goodness. This one is a romance. Can you guess which? It's not one of those that's like, ooh, who's he gonna pick? No, you know. It's like Horimiya. Except, you know, this girl's not named Fragrant and this guy's not named Flower, you know? And so, this one just finished up recently. So there might be some recency bias with it, but it gets S tier anyway. Like, you know, it kind of felt to me almost like some of these lower ones there, right? Which one in particular? How I kind of was describing it with, you know, Dan the Dan or Delicious in Dungeon. It's one of those you kind of have to feel, right? You know, for a good amount of time, I wasn't feeling it here. You know, it doesn't follow the normal stuff I'm looking for in a story and the like. Unlike something like Bochi the Rock or Frieren. I can see it clear as day in these. You know, I'm sure it also has, you know, the other aspects, but I couldn't see it in this one. And I didn't see my stuff. I didn't feel it either. But then there was episode 9. And then my whole world turned upside down. I felt it clear as day in that episode 9. And if you've seen the episode 9, you would know it. You would understand it too. Like, that's another one of those waterworks ones there. Oof. Man, that was... I understood it then. Right then and there is when I understood. And that's why it gets where it is. This one's Ghibli too, haha. Kaijo, oh yeah, I know this one. It's a sport where the girls attack each other with their breasts and bottoms. I haven't seen it. But the next one I have seen, though, is Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. Goodness, there's so many in these animes. Am I ever going to be able to get through this whole list? I'm sure I will be able to. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This one is your cozy little slice of life, except it's not really cozy because, well, dragons. You know? But other than that, it's pretty cute and whatever. And yeah, it's here. It's, yeah, just cozy little slice of life thing. The author also made another one here. I'm not sure if it's going to appear later because it's not very popular. But then again, we have like Liar Liar here, so who knows. Called Peach Boy Riverside. Which is, I quite enjoyed. Which I suppose is like a controversial opinion there, but I quite enjoyed Peach Boy Riverside. It will never get a second season though, so I'm sad about that, but I liked it. It was good. Here's Comey. So, if you remember earlier when we were talking about the kidnapping, this guy gets kidnapped. Not by this girl, but some other girl. I think it's this girl right there. Yeah, he gets literally kidnapped, and this is a cute romance. A tier. Yeah, and cute romance. Very slice of life-esque. You know, you're not like building up to it like Flavored Flower. It's just, it's more slice of life, gag comedy-esque. Maybe it's just more normal comedy. But I don't know. Konosuba! Okay. This one is definitely gag comedy. This is, well, your generic isekai parody. Except it's like the one parody people actually like, which is surprising. You know, people like a parody? No way. But yes, they do. They do like the parody. But only this one. Goodness, how much Konosuba is there? Yeah. Yes, I'll say it's funny. Though, to be fair, I'm not a big fan of half the jokes that they have in there. But the jokes that they do have are pretty funny. How can I not use my scroll wheel properly? Yeah, I think further on it goes away from the parody and more on just being a normal isekai. You know, a better show, but you know, yeah, it was one of those in Isekai Quartet, so you know, I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that it's, you know, popular. I will put it in B+ though. Because like I said, half the jokes don't really land with me. They're mostly mature. There's a lot of mature ones here. You know, it was good when it was a parody, but then it became less so of a parody later on. Like, here's the spin-off. That just focuses on Megumin. And so... I mean, that's the thing. Did I miss one? No. Thought I might have. Just, there was so many, you know? Okay, time to talk more. This one is, so I'm a spider, so what? The girl gets reincarnated as a spider. Other than that, it's your normal school isekai. And they build up to nothing that happens. I was really hopeful too, because it was kind of decent. With what it did have, and then it just built up to nothing. It's like they were trying to do a second season, but it never got one. You know, unless that got announced sometime, like while I'm recording this or streaming this, which I'm sure it didn't. So, yeah. Oh well. Apothecary Diaries. I'm sure it comes to as no surprise to you that I put this one in S tier, because it's one of the ones I purposely chose for my thumbnail. Right? It's one of those smart little ones there. It is smart. It's also cute, and it's funny. I feel like I'm just boiling it down to its basic parts, but yes, it can be quite cool at times, especially in that first season. I did like it more than the second season. But yes, there's it just kind of knows what to hit. I don't know how to explain half of these, you know? You know, we can go with Bochi the Rock. I can explain this one. You know, really nicely, really easy. And then there's some of those that just, you have to feel it. You can't... I've not figured out how to know it via my normal methods. Or expanding on my normal methods. You know, analyze it to figure it out. You just feel it, and that's one of those that you feel. Same as this one, or the Fates, or Jujutsu Kaisen. Horimiya, no, you knew Horimiya. It's... That one I know by normal methods. Same with Death Note, but... Yes, Apothecary Diaries. S tier. Definitely, definitely. Okay, time for more. I do not know and have not watched. Okay, Liar Liar. Okay. Okay. This one is... I'm sure... I'm not... Well, maybe not sure. I'm mostly confident that this was somebody who liked reading Classroom of the Elite and wanted to make their own. However, they weren't as smart. So it goes in C tier. It's just Classroom of the Elite, but everybody's kind of dumb. You know? It's not any, like, the cool moments and stuff. Comparing it to Danganronpa, right? This is when, you know, people are, like, actually deducing how the murder happened. This is when they ask what an octagon is. You understand? You don't even need to know Danganronpa to know that. Next one up is Link Click, which, like, Daily Life of the Immortal King, is actually Chinese. So, how surprising that is, but either way, it is a good one. And this one is definitely quite the mystery one. And these, you know, one guy, this guy can time travel, this guy can look into photos. So, they kind of work together. You know. This guy time travels back into the photos, this guy tells them what to do and how things are going to happen. And so they use that dynamic to solve crime. And as such, it's kind of like a deduction thing, but it's, you know, mostly like a guy in an unknown world thing. Because it really is unknown. He doesn't know who he really is or what he's doing until it happens. You know, and especially when things start interfering with them, you know? But I'll save that for your own personal watch if you so decide to. Lucky Star! Which I, you know, can't do that whole thing. I don't have the cutesy little voice like they do. This one was one of my first, you know, cutesy animes, and therefore it gets S tier. I'm a big fan of the cutesy ones. This is very cutesy. I would gladly listen to them talk about chocolate cornets for hours on end. It's very cute. And anybody who thinks that watching them talk about chocolate cornets for hours on end is not good, they are entirely wrong. So, that's my thoughts. Wonderment Journey of Elena. I remember this one being good when I watched it, but I can't remember a thing about it. So apparently it's not memorable. So, yep. Losing Heroine. So, this one is another one of those feely ones, to which I did feel a bit of. But not to the extent people would make it seem. Like, this got multiple Anime of the Year awards. Like, it's not that good. I mean, sure, it's nice, but it's not that good. You get the, do I want to give you A? Yeah, I'll give you A. It's not like S or S plus tier. It's good. I'll compare it to Classroom of the Elite there, in terms of how much I'd want to watch it. So, yeah, that's about it. These, I think it's another good one that I haven't seen them. Yeah. Why are they all in... You know, I'm not gonna ask questions anymore. Demon Lord 2099. Okay, so there's this Demon Lord. And he gets transported into the year 2099. And now he's gotta figure stuff out. Generic, but it's good generic. B tier. Alright, next one. This one. So this one. It's a Demon Lord. And he gets reincarnated in the future. It's generic, but it's not as good generic. There's really no way to differentiate these two. I don't know how I could possibly tell you why this one is better than this one. It just kind of is. It's not like one is smarter or cuter or, well, has more good story mechanics than the other. It's just, this one is better than this one. I don't know. They follow the exact same premise. So, yeah, that's how that one goes. Masamune! I think that one finished? I don't really remember the ending. It was fine, I guess. It's B. I mean, it was certainly above average. Certainly above some of these C tier picks. So I'll gladly put that one there, and I'll take it. Sadly, I've not seen Mob Psycho 100. Or Princess Mononoke. I have seen this one, though. This one is a single 24-minute episode, so I don't think it's, you know, as fine to rate. But it's One Piece Guy before One Piece Guy. I guess C tier. It was good, but it was short. So, yeah. Talentless Nana. Yes, I remember this one. So, everybody's got superpowers, right? Except Nana, who is talentless. But she's also an assassin and has to kill people. This one will get B tier. It's not as smart as some of the other ones. Some of the ways that she kills people are just kind of dumb. And it just doesn't really work. And you kind of know things, how they'll go before they happen. You know. I would definitely prefer Death Note over that. Because they have, well, I wouldn't say nearly the same premise. But they're kind of close enough. They have the same feel. But yeah. B tier. Because I do like it, and even though it's not particularly good. Jobless Reincarnation, I have not seen. In the contrary, though, I have seen this one, which I don't remember the name of. It was generic. But it wasn't bad, you know? There's a lot of these that are just generic and not bad. This one... Look, I haven't seen enough of it. I like some of these, they're just generic. I know this one's generic. I haven't seen enough. This one is also generic. I haven't seen enough. But I will give you a note on this one. I mentioned Ave Musica earlier. They are a band whose singer does this one, the opening for that. It is really good. All right. Anime, probably like C tier, maybe F tier. The opening for it, easy S tier. That's what I have to say. I discovered the scroll bar to the side. Mysterious Disappearances. I like this one. It had, you know, nice mystery stuff. I know Twitter liked it because of the girls' proportions. I'll give that one a B tier. It was pretty nice. I liked it. Actually, nah. I'll have it to B+. I liked it. Oh boy, another stretch of stuff I haven't seen. Which is surprising, because there's Naruto in this stretch. Neko Monogatari Black. Which one is this one? Neko Monogatari Black. Hold on. Give me just a second. I need to look up Neko Monogatari Black. Neko Monogatari Black. Is this the bad one or the good one? Like the flashback or the other one? It is the flashback. Okay. I say the flashback or the good one. This one still gets A tier. Like, no contest with that. But it just... Like a lot of things in Monogatari, it just sets up something else for later. You know, it's like... You know, kind of like how... Danganronpa. Look, I've been playing through Rain Code recently. It's gonna be on my mind. Alright? Well, Danganronpa, right? You know, it gathers all the evidence there, and then it, you know, gives it up in this big old finale case verdict thing. It's that, but it's not limited to, you know, case materials, murder, and a verdict. But it has that same sort of premise there. We're gathering all this sort of stuff so that we can have it all pay off later. You know, you set it up and then you pay it off. And so this one, Neko Monogatari Black, is mainly for Neko Monogatari White, which is probably my second favorite arc of the show. At least what I've seen of it, because I'm not able to really watch all of it, really. Here is Nisei Monogatari. I think this one's Nisei. Now I gotta check. Is that one Nisei Monogatari? Nisei Monogatari. It is Nisei Monogatari. Oh, that's the one with the toothbrush. That's the one with the toothbrush. Uh-huh. I promise it was just setting up the other arc for later. I promise that's all that toothbrush scene was doing. That's all they did in it. Yes, I did watch the full thing. No Game, No Life. That's also controversial that I haven't done it. Also no Origami. But I have seen this one. I want to say this one's Honey Lemon Soda, but it's not. Something Bubble Soda Pop, I think. It looks about right. And I'll give this one an F2. I was not a fan. I mean, it's like... I don't know what to really say about that one. I don't really remember it. And I think that's mainly the whole thing about it, right? Nothing was good enough to remember. It's a whole movie. The whole thing happens. I should remember what happens in it. Did the guy even get with the girl? Did they follow any of that? Like, I don't remember. I should have. I should have remembered. I can tell you basically anything about that quintuplets movie. Ugh. Anyway. Odd Taxi. This one's the movie that I haven't seen. But Odd Taxi. I have seen this one. I like the premise. I like the twist. It's not something you expect coming, you know? But other than that, it was... I mean, kind of felt like the movie. This one gets, we'll give B+, right? It was nice. You know, everything kind of went well together. I liked it. It just kind of needed more, you know? Went good together. Just needed more to go good together. Here's all the One Piece stuff. I've only seen Film Red. I don't know if that's a good thing. I just kind of took all the stuff for granted. Like, yeah, sure, that guy can do that. I don't know if he actually can, but yeah. I don't know he can't. Anyway, this one will get, it'll get a B tier. Yeah. I think that's fine. It just, you know, kind of happened. Songs were great. But this isn't a song tier list. I would, you know, get very much copyright striked. They are ruthless on those Monogatari songs, alright? Ruthless. One Punch Man. I've seen the first season and the second season. I've not seen the third season, which is, you know, facing harsh controversy over the art. And now look, when I see something like that, I think it really isn't as bad as it was. Kind of like, you know, Blue Lock from earlier. You know, they're calling this one frame man, you know, because that's all there is. There's one frame. You know, or the 7 deadly frames. Like, I think they're mostly just dogpiling on it. It's like, this guy's hating it, I'll hate it too, you know? So, sure, it might not be good, but it's shown as being worse than it actually is. I'm gonna give this one an 8 there. I realized I haven't even said anything about the actual parts of the show I have watched. It's funny. Well, in some parts. But I really like their whole dynamic. Because, you know, you got this, you know, Saitama. Who is, you know, the one punch man. He'll kill everything in basically one punch. Except that one guy he didn't. You know, and then you have the rest of the guys who can't. And so, well, how do you balance a show where the main character kills everything in a single hit? Well, you just have him be the win condition, right? You know, everybody battles until they can use their win condition. Until their win condition gets there. So that's how they normally do it. Because they can totally battle power balance the other guys. So they'll fight and try to contact Saitama and whatever. So, yay. This one. I really don't have anything to say about this one. I really don't. It's not something I have. It's fine, I guess. I watched it. Yeah, I don't really care. This one I kind of wanted to watch, but I didn't. Oshinoko. Okay. Oshinoko. I'm a manga reader. I thought the ending was fine. Controversial, right? But yes, Oshinoko is my, go-to for how I think adaptations of anime should be made. And therefore, this thing totally goes in S tier. There's no contest. But yes, like they were saying in season 2 here. Literally, like, the whole season, basically. It was a plot point that essentially ended with the source material should be adapted in a way so that it is better and it fits to the material it's being shown in. Or the media. The medium. Right? Essentially saying, we have a manga, we should not one-to-one translate it over to an anime. Or a stage play, or a musical, or vice versa. It should not be one-to-one translated. We should enhance on the source material and make it better for its components. Right? Because you have, moving picture now. You should utilize the ability that gives you. Right? You should utilize the moving picture. Which you weren't able to do in the manga, which is just a bunch of still pictures. And they really did that really well. They really did that. So, on that note, when I hear people talk about, hey, this is a one-to-one adaptation from the manga to the anime, I take that as a bad sign. It means it's a bad adaptation. If they didn't enhance on the source material and, well, actually make it fit the medium. So, that's my thoughts. I will stop ranting there before I do anything else. I've not seen the side stories, but I've seen Ranking of Kings. Like, there's a lot of animes. I gotta get through these things, Ranking of Kings. I didn't expect to like it, but I kind of did. It's one of those, like, weird-ish thingies, right? Like, you don't expect Mr. Mute Death Prince guy to to, you know, be a good protagonist of a show or anything, but he is. A tier. I don't know. They kind of do it well by just not really caring about the death parts. I don't really know. It was quite interesting. Ya boy Kongming. This was... I'll put this one in B+. It's a music-y one. It's kind of smart, but not as smart there. Mostly because if you ever tried to, you know, do the sort of things that Kongming does here, it doesn't quite work, but it makes sense in context, you know? You know, I can go here and reference Sun Tzu's The Art of War, right? You know, I can open it up to a random page and I can say, you know, I can see, after crossing a river, you should get far away from it. When an invading force crosses a river on its onward march, do not advance to meet it midstream. It will be best to let half the army get across and then deliver your attack. Like, okay. How do I translate that to anything else, right? Because it's not always going to be the same. I don't quite understand it, but I don't know. Kongming seems to have figured it out, so good for him. And Aika's cool too, and the songs are nice. Pokemons, I have not seen those, nor Prison School. Madoka! Hey, I was talking about you, Madoka. Yeah. Man, oh man, Madoka. Ugh. I went into Madoka expecting cute magical girl one, and then it blew my mind. Since spoilers, if I say that, it's old enough. She dies. I didn't expect her to die. You know, and then everything just went crazy. Everyone's gonna die. Nothing's going well to plan. Ugh. And it's a fever dream, and I love it. S tier. You know, this is why I like animes. You can directly link it back to this one thing. Alright? Well, it's either that or Inuyasha. You can make an argument for either. But I'll make it for Madoka. I mean, I wouldn't be here if not for that one. That one's a fact. Ranma, the reboot. Made by the same person who made Inuyasha. Second season airing, which I haven't seen too much of. But other than that, it's fine, I suppose. Probably. I see this one, I see that one. Yeah, they're about on par. Yeah, you on par? Yeah, you're about on par. You know, it's nice. Every time I scroll past, I see this one. What do? I'm like, it scares me. Just smack it over on that side so I can, like, cover it up a little more. It scares me. Rascal does not dream about a girl senpai. I have not seen the rest of those stuff yet. Just this one. You know, I think just about everybody has this phase where, like, man, I don't want to watch the one about the bunny girls. It's probably going to be something bleh and weird and whatever. And then when they watch it, they're like, oh, this is not the case at all. S tier. Like, yeah, I'll take it. I like Mai. She's cute. This does not help my case, but yeah, I also like Kaide. I still not helping my case. I like the figuring it out. It's kind of like, it's almost like Monogatari light, you know? Monogatari, but if you don't want to put as much time and effort into it. I'll give it that reference, right? It's got basically the same thing. You know, instead of like supernatural beings, it's puberty syndrome. And there's a lot of talking and a lot of figuring stuff out, but they have a lot more action because it relies directly on the person instead of on, you know, solving the problem. You know. To solve one person's puberty syndrome, you might have to do one thing versus another instead of just let's talk it out and figure out our plan and then execute it in one episode. There's more action. It's Monogatari, but for people with lower attention spans. That's how I should do it. So. Yep, real life. That is not the one I saw. There's another one that's very similar to it that I just haven't seen. Or that I have seen. But not that one. ReZero, hey! You remember this from Isekai Quartet. As such, can you guess where I'd put it? I've also not seen the latest season. I should. I know I should. I just haven't. I'm weird like that. Look at me over there watching Liar Liar or whatever. I'm not having seen the new ReZero season. But yes. ReZero. It gets S tier. Everybody likes Amelia. I think that's the only girl people like. There's a blue hair one, but I don't know why people like her. What's her name again? I don't know. She's just in a wheelchair the whole time. I don't get it. Anyway. We're on to our... Oh my god. I thought I had a break. No. I have Romantic Killer. Which is a parody. Woo! It's one of the... It's a parody of those sorts of romances where, you know, girl gets with all the guys. Reverse harem. There you go. You know, you have this little guy here who's like, ha ha ha, I am the love god. Look at these 3 handsome men. Take one. And the girl's like, no, I want to stay home and eat chocolate and play video games all day. And I like cats and stuff. So, yeah, she wants to stay out of the romance. But we have the reverse harem plot, so it must occur. And therefore, it is parody. It gets B+, sure. It goes with the Ranma and stuff. I have not seen that one, but I have seen Alya. Alya's a nice one. Like, a lot of these, I just don't know how to describe the difference. And that's a very common thing. I think it's probably better if you kind of look through my list and figure it out for yourself. But yes, Alya will get an easy A there. Easily. I like it. Well, duh, it's in the A tier. What am I talking about? But yes, it's once again one of those romancy things where stuff happens. You know, and the stuff it's thought through. I'll go with. Thought through. Yeah. Very thought through. I mean, you can kind of tell by the premise there, right? That they kind of thought it through. It is with the, you know, the girl who's Russian, so Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. But the guy knows how to speak Russian. And he learned it from Alya's sister. Yeah. But Alya doesn't know that, so when she's trying to hide her feelings, well, he kind of knows. But he's going to keep it a little bit of a secret because it's cute and funny to watch. Anyway, here's saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement. This girl can transfer between, you know, one world to another. And therefore wants to save 80,000 gold to retire. There we go. It's F tier. Like, it's not... It's not a good one. Like, there's a few bad things about it, but there's absolutely nothing good about this one, I will say. There's nothing good. You know, I'm on this scale here. You know, the nothing good, nothing bad sort of thing isn't about B tier, right? Or maybe they equal each other out, you know? Like you have some bad parts, but you're also kind of funny, so I like you. You know, and then we had the bad ones, no good parts here. This is just bad. No, I can't find any redeeming quality of this one over any other one. Sepakui Bisco, this is, I feel like the guy was on drugs making this. I'll put this one in C tier. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. The guy was on drugs. That's really about it. I like the girl, but other than that, it's just, yeah, it doesn't really have that much to say about it. Besides, oh boy, it's drugs. And it's getting a second season too, which I thought was weird. But anyway, here is Red Ranger in another world or something. I don't really know. It's another parody. This guy has been isekai'd into another world, and he's the Red Ranger, and he must use his Red Ranger abilities in order to do stuff. But it kind of falls into the trap of, once again, kind of like Konosuba from earlier, wherever that one is. It falls into the trap of being a parody and then kind of devolving into the actual thing itself, right? C tier. You know, if it stayed and continued on as a parody, this thing could be A tier. It really could be. But it's not. Because now it's just a, action-y one. Action shonen. Generic one. You know, the author was not good enough to write much more than a parody. Unlike Konosuba, where you could kind of get out of that rut. Which is quite sad, I think. Anyway, here's more. Why in the war? What's going on here? You know, I don't need to worry about it. Just, yeah. Okay, Sasaki and Peeps. This one is kind of similar to this one, where the guy can transfer from world to world, except he uses a weird bird to do it. I don't really know, but either way. He gets contracted forcefully into an agency that, kind of deals with that supernatural power sort of thing. And his supernatural power is the bird. So, Birdman. This one is also getting a second season. I'll give this one B tier. It was definitely generic-y feeling, but it was nice. It was. You know, especially compared to this one and this one. This one had stuff going for it. No way. It had a plot that made some sense. Wow. Here's Angels of Death. I actually saw the game before I watched the anime for this one. And it's a relatively direct adaptation. Keep in mind what I said about Oshinoko. But either way, this one I'll put in B+. I like it. I like Rachel. Should I? Probably not. That's probably a bad thing to say. I probably should rethink my statement. Too late now. But yeah, it was a good premise that it was able to keep expanding on for that sort of time. You know, and it ran short, which is good, because that should have. You know, it's not the type of story that will get out of its premise. Nor should it. It will not be good out of its premise. So, yes, I like it as it is there. Scissor 7 or Killer 7, I don't know. I haven't seen that one. Yay. Strongest exorcist in another world, I think? I don't know, it's a generic isekai. You know him, you like him. At least some people like him. I don't. I don't like him that much. I say that knowing full well that I put some generic ones higher up. So anyway, carrying on. Ah, come on, get in there. Oh no. This is Combatants Will Be Dispatched. I have not seen much of this one because I absolutely despise this one. This one is utter pain. This guy, like, this is what people imagine the anime to, or the anime community to look like when they browse Twitter. And this girl doesn't help, even though she's a robot. I don't know. Who made it? I think it was the Konosuba guy. Combatants Will Be Dispatched. It, like, ugh. This one is dumb. It's bad. It's not good. Yeah, he did it. It's the Konosuba guy. So, yeah. So yeah, I'm putting this here because I haven't seen that much. So, yay. Reign of the Seven Spellblades. Your generic academy type things. Not an isekai, but it follows that same sort of premise, and it doesn't really get much better, nor expand on it. And so, see there. There are some that can do it well. I mean, it's more just, when I say do it well like that, I mean do stories well. Make the story good. You know, like you have Sword Art Online, and in comparison, Shangri-La Frontier. This one is one of my favorites, actually. I can't remember. What did I put it as in the thumbnail? Was it A tier or S tier? This was before I had decided on S+. Does it matter? Not really. I think this one was an A tier one. Yeah, because I put Jujutsu Kaisen and Apothecary Diaries. Yeah. So this one was an A tier one. Do I promote it? What did I put in S tier? I don't promote it. But then looking here, it's like an in-between, you know? Like, it's not good enough for some of these, like Oshinoko. But it's better than these ones, you know? I'll still put it in, I'll still put it in A tier, but do keep that in mind. But yes, this one is quite good. You know, you have Guy. Guy is the bird. He is, you know, playing this great VR MMO. And he has to go and, well, do good at it. He's a pro gamer, just like yours truly. And there are these 7 colossi, like this one right there. Which nobody has beaten any of them. And he has to go around, you know, with his team and kill them. And that's, you know, what's good about it. There are downsides to it sometimes. But most of the time, it's just a really good one. It's underrated in anywhere but Japan, I think. So if you're in Japan, then good for you. You know about its success. Otherwise, you probably don't know. So, yeah. But yes, quite a good one this is. And I do quite enjoy it. There's probably something else I was going to say, but I forgot. So, oh well. And next up on our list, Shikinoko no Konoko Koshantan. Okay. Or My Dear Friend Shikinoko. I wanted to like this one. I really did. It's like the gag thing, which was great for the first few episodes, but they just overused it so much. And then it just got not funny anymore. I really wanted to like that one. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this anime in a long time. This one, I think, is Shinobi no Itoki or whatever it's called. I don't know. This thing was horrendous, and I have purposely not remembered it. just because it is bad. Like, there's something like about the final one that's just super big plot, Deus Ex Machina, whole whatever. Like, that just made no sense, and it just kind of happened. You know, like if, well, what was I trying to say? It's like if you were, you know, worried about a homework assignment, right? And then you get to school the next day, and you didn't actually finish the homework assignment, so you're all worried about that, right? And then for some random reason, it's just like the homework assignment never existed. Nobody talks about it, never got brought up again. That's what I'm thinking happened, something like that. Train to the End of the World. This one I quite liked. I'll put it in B+. Yeah. It's one of those interesting-y sort of ones. Has a few good elements that I was able to find. Like Death Note, Bochi. Those ones. This one is similar. Not as many of those, though. But it is cute aside from that. You know, I'm a story guy, but I can't really explain it. Shy! I misclicked. I can't scroll. But yeah, Shy. We got 2 seasons. And I feel like I'm the only person who actually likes this one. Which is kind of sad. Like, really? People don't like Shy? Like, sure, it's kind of generic-y feeling, but I like it. I like Shy. It goes in B. Most people would probably put it in C or F, but I like Shy. It's nice. It's not, like, overly generic-y, and sure, it's not got the best plot or story, but I mean, look at C and F tier. This is just, it's just generic isekais and bad shows. This does not deserve it. Does not deserve your pain. Your pain and suffering. Silent Witch. Yes, I like this one. It's silly. Though I think it's kind of slow. I do. I say silly. It's not really halfway silly, but I don't know. Good plot, I say. I say plot. I am mixing up the words plot and story. Good story, I say. This one will get A tier. But yeah, Silent Witch. Goodness, there's still... Well, it's not as much as I thought there was left. I can finish it. That's not that bad. Okay. Sleepy Princess in the Demon Castle. This one here, I'll just go ahead and rank it, is like the epitome of gag humor. They kidnap this princess in the Demon Castle, and she just wants the best sleep possible, so she'll do anything. And I mean anything. This includes murder, deception, kidnapping, fraud. And she is the one who's been kidnapped. So, yeah, that's what's happening. She's sleepy. Let her get a good rest. Attack on Titan. I am currently partway through the 2nd season, but I am actively watching it, so I will rank only the 1st season as an A tier. This one has, like, a lot of the really good story elements that I will harp on but never fully explain. But it's... It's got something there that just made me not be able to finish it for the longest time. You know, kind of like... I was talking, what is it? This one? You kind of feel it, right? This one had a negative feel. Even though it had all the stuff, it had a negative feel. What's a way to explain it? I'll explain it probably poorly, but I'll do it anyway. You know, it's like, you know, really good detective show where they solve murder, right? You know, and he's solving it really good. There's the mystery there. There's a bunch of, you know, twists and stuff. Everything makes sense and it flows well together. But you just don't like it because there's a murder, right? You know, it's a bad way of explaining it because that's more like personal preference aside from anything else. Which it's, in this case, it would not really be considered personal preference, but that's aside the point. You know, just assume everybody in the world didn't like seeing dead bodies, which is, quite frankly, all of them, which I think really should be the case here. But you understand my point, I really hope. Steins Gate. I was partway through watching and then they took it off the service I was using, so I guess I'd say no. Otherwise, I get a B tier. Based on what I've currently seen. Oh boy. This one is World End. Where will you be at the end of the world? Will you be here? Will you save us, I think? I think that's the title. It is overly long. Super long. Incredibly, egregiously long. Also, it gets a B tier. Yeah, that's about it. Do I have much to say about it? I think the girls should drink less milk. Probably more milk, actually. I'm contrarian. The girls should drink more milk. That's all. Let's see, what's next? Summer Poggers, haven't seen that one, nor that one. Summertime rendering. Yay. This one. This one is like ReZero if it was worse. So I guess B+. I mean, it still wasn't half bad, but it was worse. Can I explain it? No. Yeah. It's almost like you have to do your own research on this tier list. Actually, no, you really shouldn't, but... You know, this is my tier list. If you want to understand. I mean, you've already spent... if you've already spent a good amount of time watching me put this stuff down, you might as well put in a little more. Trying to figure out the difference. And quite honestly, if you could explain it to me, I would be very grateful. Because I would like to know it myself. At least for some of these. You know, I can tell you some things like why, you know, Bochi the Rock is better than, or why Friar, can I tell you why Friar is better than Death Notes? Yes, I can tell you why Bochi the Rock is an S+ tier. Wow, something like, let me go, what's something I can go with here? What would be good? What would be good? I'm trying to think of a good comparison. It's hard when you see, when there's less to see, you know? When they have a good amount of it here and then not elsewhere, you know, it's a little hard. We will go... Like, I'm still trying to see it there. Maybe it's just not... A good one is just not on the list. I don't really know. I could spend forever and a half looking at this. We'll just go with Classic with the Elite for simplicity's sake. Yeah, I could probably do it. I can explain why this one is better than this one and all that sort of stuff. Ah, Madoka. I could explain that. Yeah. I could explain the difference here and here and yeah. I could. Like, that one's knowable. The difference between something like, you know, Gachikuta and Jujutsu Kaisen, not so much. That's the one I would need the explanation on. I wouldn't know it myself just as much as you do. So, yay, here is Suzume! Not the Big Mac one. I know about the Big Mac one. The Big Mac Suzume. This one, I think basically every Makoto Shinkai one can go in S tier. I'm pretty sure that's a fine assumption. But which basically is Your Name and Weathering with You, as well as Suzume. When I was watching this one for the first time, I was thinking, yeah, this one isn't that good. I was kind of expecting this thing to be a lot better. Turns out, what I thought was going to be the end was not actually. And they started a whole second arc. I'm like, okay, this surprised me. Yes. Arc 2 brought it up for me. From probably like B or C tier to the S. So, I have not seen enough of that one. I've seen a few. From what I have seen, probably B. But yes, not enough. What in the world is going on here? Why is that here? It goes here. There you go. I don't know what that is. There's too many to see it ahead of time, but it kind of gives you a good showing of some of these weirder animes, though. Like, what you've seen here really just scratches the surface of what there really is in terms of weirdness. Like, we haven't really encountered the really weird animes, or, you know, we've seen the generic isekais and stuff, but not as much as you really should have. And for that, I'm thankful. I am thankful for those. Anyway, Seventh Prince. This one, I mean, it's like generic isekai, which, well, it is generic isekai, but it's a little funny, I guess. But it like makes a lot more sense. The stuff goes well together, I'll say. Kind of like Bochi, but not as much. It'll get B. Now for the next one, which I haven't seen, and you know, there's a few. Oh, hey, we're talking about Tokyo Ghoul early, and I mean, I can't lie. I haven't seen it. So, oh well, it goes down. No. You go here. Tokyo Revengers. So, I was talking earlier about how I like, you know, smart animes and stuff, right? And sure, if the guys are supposed to be dumb and whatever, then sure. That's fine, I guess. You know, but then some of them, like her, I don't think she's supposed to be dumb. Or him. I don't think he's supposed to be dumb either. She should have pulled out the gun earlier, and he should have commanded everybody to get a gun, you know? They got a lot of guys in the cleaner division. Just have them get guns, because clearly they work better than anything else. Why aren't we using that? You already know people are out for us. They've had a fight before. They literally were told face to face. Their multiple last missions dealt with other people and their power items. You know, like, so anyway, imagine that thing, but they turned it into an entire anime. Everybody here is dumb. They're all dumb. They're all stupid. Everything only works because they're dumb. And also they're tasked with saving Japan and all their friends and whatever. You know, this guy. Takamichi Hanagaki, I think his name is. He does absolutely nothing except scream and cry. And he's the one supposed to save everybody? He's the one with the time travel powers? Like, huh? What? Really? That's the thing. He's so dumb. He doesn't do anything. Like, I believe the author of Tokyo Revengers made another manga called Astro Royale, which is around the same thing, but that one was in a different magazine, Weekly Shonen Jump. I did not read it, but it got axed quickly. Oh, was it quickly? Quickly enough. Did get axed. As far as I was aware, not many people cared about it. Now, I don't have enough information to directly compare it to Tokyo Revengers, but I'm pretty sure, if not many people cared, he got a... then it's not good. It's just definitively not good. And the author is, well, I'm sure he would have written something better if he was able to. But yep. Might be getting better, but not good enough. Tamagotchi game. This is definitely one of those death game ones. I'll put it in C. I wasn't too big a fan of it, quite honestly. You know, it's like a fake smart sort of thing. Like, he's feigning smartness by making all the things pretty easy to follow, you know? It's that sort of jig. And I guess people like it because they got pretty highly reviewed and rated, but... Anyway, Tanikawa. And this is a romance, except they're already married. That's the first episode. And, I mean, literally, you see that. That is the picture. I missed. Like, yeah, he's, Oh, no, where did I drop it? Oh, no. No! Okay. Well, excuse me for a second as I try to find it again. But, yeah. It's definitely one of the cuter romances. They don't really get stuff done, but what they have written down there is done pretty decent. And I do thank them for that. Though, quite honestly, just about the only thing I can... here it is. I can remember about it. Besides... well, the girl being cute. Is that the author took a break from writing it because of the Jujutsu Kaisen chapter. So, that was funny. Next up, Toradora. Oh, sweet. This one, Toradora, I think is the pinnacle of romances. Stuff happens. It's all good. They all set it up well. It's all paid off well. I like it. You're cute. You're nice. You're also cute. You exist. I like you. Easy S tier. There is consideration for S+, but I don't think it's high enough. So, sadly, it only goes here. It's great. It's a great one. I have not seen Totoro. I promise I've seen at least one Ghibli movie. Alright. Togenonki. Is this fair since this one's currently airing? Well, yeah, if I'm up to date on the airing, then sure. Yes, this one is currently airing. Therefore, I will rate it as I have seen it. C tier? What's in C tier? No, this one gets B tier. Okay. And yeah, I'll up you the B+. You're welcome, Tanikawa. Yes, that's fine. That is fine. Yeah, the guy's dumb. That's a plot point. Or just actually how he is. He's dumb. They fight stuff. Generic fighty shonen battle thing. You've seen it. I'm sure you have. Tribe 9. This one, if you are looking at it and think, huh, maybe it's just because you've been talking about Danganronpa so much, Niro, but that looks kind of like Danganronpa. You'd be right, because it is Danganronpa. Anyway, C tier. Yeah, it wasn't that good. Yeah. I think truly though, the saddest part was that it took so long to get the mobile game out. This came out years before the mobile game was supposed to promote. Because it just kept getting delayed and delayed. And then when they finally released it, they shut it down only a few months later. In favor of, like, Kaiju number 8 the game or something. Like, ugh, so sad. But, yeah. Its first few episodes were good, and then it just kind of fell off. A cliff, as they may say. So, yay. Umuzume Pretty Derby. Cinderella Grey. Okay. I have only seen the first season so far, and Cinderella Grey. So, I will be rating these separately, as they require separate ratings. So, main season, Umuzume Cinderella Grey, which, kind of like Tribe 9, came out before the actual game that I was supposed to promote, except they are sticking with the game, and the game's doing incredibly well. Unlike what's going on for Tribe 9. RIP Tribe 9, you will be missed. Anyway, this one will get a B tier. I mean, it's fine, it's cute, it's nice, I like it, that's about it. It doesn't have much going for it. Unlike Cinderella Grey, which in many things is similar to Bocchi. It sets it up, and then it kills your expectations. I love that about this. You know, there's a whole thing. I'm sure you know about sports betting, right? And the thing I hate about so many sports animes is that you just know what's going to happen, right? Like, sure, guy's gonna figure out how to win this. Okay, sure. You're gonna win, and they're gonna go to the championships. They're gonna win the championships. If that was the case, we wouldn't have sports betting. And there wouldn't be upsets. And none of that sort of thing would happen. Which is what I love about Cinderella Grey. Because this one makes you root for the victor and then cry. Because they didn't actually win. Ah, oh, and I love Tama. S tier. I also love Obey. Obey's great, too. So, oh boy, we're getting close to the end here. I didn't think I could rate either 500 or 671 animes in a single stream, but look at me go. I mean, it does help that I haven't seen all of them, though. But I have seen viral hits, so, okay. So, this thing, right? It's about making people fighting each other for viral hit YouTube content. Alright? Now, I, as you may not know, do YouTube. Look, that's the YouTube logo. I might be qualified. I also do fighting stuff. So I'm qualified in both things. Alright? And I can tell you for an absolute fact, neither of them are accurate. Alright? Neither of those things are accurate. Alright? So, you know, maybe it's a good show. No, not really. It's just kind of sad and inaccurate. And yeah. You know, if it was that easy, then I would be a millionaire by now. I'm sure. Just, you know, I'll just upload all the footage of me going out on the streets beating people up. Like that, but no. Yeah, I am quite the stickler for, you know, fighting form and technique when it is a fighting show. Because that's, well, what it's supposed to be. You know, if I know it's not, I know this one is made for entertainment, but if you're, like, opening up a science textbook, you expect science stuff to be accurate in there, right? But it's more like, I expect the guy who's supposed to know how to fight, right? And if the guy doesn't know how to fight, then, well, what do I know then? You know? Yeah. But they do that all the time in things. Like, Even like the super highly rated stuff. Baki's popular. They don't know a clue about how to fight. None of that's accurate. They got superpowers. Chainsaw Man, there's some fighting stuff they do there. Like martial art grappling stuff in that new movie. There's like one scene. It wasn't a lot, but even then it was inaccurate. But yeah, when you're supposed to know something, you should be accurate. You know? You know, and if you don't know how to be accurate with that in your work, then just change how it is. Change either what the person's supposed to be the expert in, or change the thing that they are the expert in. You know? Maybe in this world, people work differently, you know? Than they do in Japan or whatever that place is. It might be Korea. I don't know. Here's Weathering with you. I think I mentioned it before. It gets an S tier. Yeah. Yay. Oh boy, Windbreaker. Mind the scrolling. There's gonna be a lot now. Windbreaker. Yay. There's a lot of these where I like the first season and I don't like the second season as much. And quite honestly, I don't really care enough to put them in any different places. And this one's going to be no exception. So this one goes up in B. You know, I like it. The fighting is, well, still inaccurate, but they're high schoolers, so it's not, you know, experts at least. But yeah, it's cool and it's nice, and the second season isn't as cool and nice. So, but either way, I'll take it. I'll take it. Witch Watch! Yes, this one is also pretty recent. And this one is also your gag comedy thing. And there were some of these that really made me burst down in laughter. I really like some of those. Some of those weren't. But they really put quite the effort into it. Like, yes, the Oshinoko example, right? There were whole episodes where they changed up the opening and the whole story to another anime in order to go in for a gag with that. Something not really possible in this. Like, they had to make a whole opening for an anime that didn't exist. Just to throw you off the trail for that gag to work. It was great. It was great. Yeah. Let's see. Yamada and the Seven Witches. Okay. This one, I remember the opening more than the show. It just kind of feels forgettable, the show. And I think the opening would always go well in an anime opening quiz. I guess I'll put it in C or something. I don't really know anything about it. Because I watched it, I just don't remember. Also, I think it was dumb at the end. Because they shouldn't have done what they did. Jellyfish can't swim in the night. This one is also kind of your girls band sort of thing. Oh, goodness, all that scrolling's making me motion sickness a little bit. But, yes, jellyfish can't swim in the night. This one definitely ended too soon. Too soon. 'Twas rushed. But what it did have was nice. It was better earlier on. Not to say it was bad later on. We'll give it a B+. It's just not quite, where's the bar? There you go. I say that. Though I should know it. I have sticky notes in the way. It's fine. Tanya. You might know this one from, Isekai Retreat. I haven't seen it. I haven't. You know what I have seen? Not Your Lie in April, but Yakuza Babysitter! I've seen that one. Haha. Yakuza Babysitter. This one has a taste of milk chocolate. I'm serious. This one, Doctor's a Babysitter, it has the taste of milk chocolate. Yeah. And that's all I have to say about it. You know, you think that's weird, then okay. I think it's weird too. Your name. If you want to know where your name is, check your birth certificate. Also, it's an S. I don't think I need to explain myself. A lot of these, I mean basically all of these, are basically the same thing. They're like the same movie, but 3 times in a row. And, apparently I'll eat them up. I don't know what I'm saying. Mission Yozakura family. These are 2 high schoolers. This is a normal guy, and this is his wife. They're married. She's a spy family. He's a normal dude. This one gets B+. Yay! I'll take it, I suppose. Alright. Yeah, there's really not a lot here. And, yeah, I'm not sure. There might be one more here that I can put. Before, that's like everything in the list. Like, whoa. You know, that stuff, it might be Yukiuna. I don't really know. I don't know Yukiuna. There's 2 more. Okay, I'll get this out of the way first, because I'm down here. I've seen Zombieland Saga. I don't remember if I've seen the other one, but I don't remember these enough to actually rate them. I couldn't tell you why, I just haven't. I don't remember much about anything. I think the truck scene has infected my mind too much, and that's the only thing I can think about it. So anyway. Zinshu. Yes, this one is another isekai, but the person's well, animator with animation powers. If she animates something, it goes good into the real life. This one will get a B+, actually. I'll put it in plus because I feel like it. You know, since you were so kind to me. But yes. Since it's an original work and not really tied to, you know, a manga or a light novel, they were kind of able to do a little extra with it, I think. So it therefore doesn't really fall into the generic isekai trap. Which is great. That's exactly what we want. You know, and then we're able to just finish it up in the episodes that it gives. You can really see the difference between a, you know, original work and, you know, adaptation work. In terms of, you know, pacing and length and stuff. Zom 100 as our final one. The final thing we can rate. I know many people like this one, even after its very long delay. But this would have to be one of the ones that you had to feel out, and I didn't feel anything. Because I did my checks. You know, I checked, does the story do this, this, this? It doesn't. And therefore, it can't be good in that way. This one gets a C tier. I didn't feel anything about it. It's fine, I guess. Okay. Sure. I mean, it's not bad enough for F tier at least, but... Yay. Yes. A note on S+, there are certainly more ones that could fit in here. They just were not included on this list with, well, some amount of images. So, it is therefore only dedicated to these 2. So. Yep. Is there even Demon Slayer here? Would be an S, but, I guess it's not. I don't get why they chose which animes they did. But they did, so yep. Anyway, I shall now do a slow scroll while talking about my, what I liked, or about this full list here. Yeah. So, I do watch quite a lot of anime, right? Well, it might not seem like it, but I do. And a lot of it is like that sort of generic-y thing. The generic-y stuff that comes out every season, right? It's a lot of the obscure stuff, right? We're not seeing any in this list that really goes with that. I haven't seen anything that's like, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? That one wasn't here. Those sorts of things. They're more obscure. There's no A Musica, Bang Dream. I don't think there was a Love Live here even. But, a lot of those I do quite like. And, this wasn't quite the list for me. Might have been the list for Mr. Hineko here. But it was not the list for me. Even though it did have some quite nice picks, I'll say, that I was quite able to work with. But, yep. I thank you for watching the tier list. Join me next time for when I rank 500 possums. Oh boy, I mean, look at all these possums. Aren't you just ready to rate them? I don't know if I'll ever rate all 5. I'll ever go into rating all these possums. I mean, free cat. Clearly, this is a B tier. B tier possum right there. I don't know why this was a thing. But yes, I thank you for watching my great anime tier list. Great anime tier list. And I will join you not tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Yeah. I'm actually going on break. Haha. Break for a few days after a 174-day streak. So, yeah, that's something, I suppose. But don't worry, I'll be sure to be back. I'm not stopping or anything, I'll tell you that much. Just a break from daily streaming. But yep, I thank you for watching, and I'll be back sometime later.